Good morning, boys and girls. And good morning, too, to all of our guests, parents and grandparents, family members and friends. I want to commend you, boys and girls, as I begin my homily, for the wonderful way in which you behaved yesterday at the practice, and especially this morning during that wonderful procession. You were so devout and quiet and prayerful, and I think that speaks volumes of your love for Jesus and Mary, his mother. You know, boys and girls, behavior speaks louder than words. And when you behave well, you tell God that you love him, and on this day, you're also telling Mary, our mother, how much you love her. And so I want to really commend you for your good behavior and the way that you've shown devotion to our Lord and Our Lady. Now, boys and girls, we're here to do something very special. It's not a Mass, is it? Which is very important. It's important we come to Mass every Sunday, but today we're not having a Mass, we're just having devotion, prayers. And we're going to do something very special. We're going to crown the Blessed Mother. Now, can anybody tell me, normally, who do we crown? What do we call those people that wear a crown? Yes. Well, we're gonna crown Mary. Yes, our mother. Yes. But who do we normally crown? Who usually wears a crown? Who usually wears a crown? Yes. A queen and somebody else, right? Yes. Jesus, because he is a queen and yes. Go ahead. A what? King, exactly. A king. It's king and queens that wear crowns, right? So we're crowning Mary because she is our queen. We recognize today, all of us recognize and accept Mary as our queen. And you know, a king and a queen, they need a place and a people to reign over. All right? To be king and queen of some sort of kingdom. And to reign in the hearts of a people. And that's what we're doing today. We're saying to Mary, you are our queen, your son is our king, and we want to be your people. We want to be your children. We want to be in your son's kingdom. We want you, Mary, and your son Jesus to reign in our hearts. Now, something else is happening today, too, that just involves the 8th graders. You remember what we practiced yesterday, right? They're going to make a special consecration. And so I asked the 8th graders to pay very close attention to what you do. And not just do it out of rote, out of habit, or because simply you're being told to, but to do it with your heart. The consecration that you make at the very heart of this ceremony is extremely important, not only for the whole school, but it's important for you, 8th graders. Each and every one of you. Because in making this act of consecration to Our Lady, you are formally accepting her as your queen in your life, in your heart. And you're asking her to be your mother, to watch over, protect, and intercede for you. The 8th graders, you will notice when you listen to them and you read it in the little booklet, when they make this consecration, they're going to ask Mary to assist them in their journey of life. Now, 8th graders, your life from here on out is going to intensify. You're getting a bit older. Hopefully you will graduate. Hopefully, right? In a few short weeks. And then you'll be moving on to high school. And before you know it, you'll be out of high school and maybe into the workforce, or probably for most of you, on to college or university. Your life is beginning to pick up speed, if you will. It's starting to get a little bit faster. And you're becoming more responsible for your lives. So that's why it's important now, boys and girls, it's important for the 8th graders to especially make a formal act of consecration so that Mary will be with them during their journey of life. I needed that, boys and girls. I needed to make a consecration too at a certain part in my life. I was a seminarian, older than the 8th graders. And I needed direction and help in my life to understand what God wanted from me. And I will tell you right now, and I tell this to the 8th graders too, that my consecration to Our Lady has been the most important, probably, act of my life, besides my own act to actually accept the vocation to the priesthood. Because it's my act of consecration to Our Lady that helped me say yes to God as a priest. It was my act of consecration that assisted me in very difficult times in my life, and it will assist you as well, as long as you make it with your whole heart. As long as you make it with your whole heart and your whole soul. You will say, 8th graders, in that act of consecration, that there are certain dangers for my soul, you will say. And they're out there, aren't they? Moms, dads, grandparents, family. We all know as adults that there are a lot of temptations out there and dangers for the souls even of our young people. We know that the devil exists, and as the consecration will say, the evil one will want you to commit sin. But remember, just as we see Our Lady crushing the head of the serpent, she is more powerful than the devil. And if you accept her as your special mother, queen, and intercessor in your life, she will bring you to her Son. And we know that infallibly. We know that those who are dedicated to Our Lady, that are consecrated to her, she will lead us assuredly to her Son. And the serpent, the evil one, the devil, will not conquer. Now, boys and girls, one last thing before we actually do this consecration and crowning of Our Lady. And that is, I want to talk a little bit about how important it is for you at your age to say yes to Mary and Jesus in your life. And I'm going to tell you a true story about 3 shepherd children. Somebody know what I'm going to talk about? Huh? 3 shepherd children back in 1917, almost 100 years ago. They saw Our Lady in a town in Portugal. And I wonder if anybody can tell me what that town is called. What is that little town in Portugal where Our Lady appeared in 1917? Yes, young man. What is it? You can't remember. Oh, you had your hand up. All right. How about the 8th graders? Come on, 8th graders, one of you. Boys or girls? Where did Our Lady appear in Portugal in 1917? Let's see if anybody has the courage from their confirmation to stand up and tell me. Our Lady appeared somewhere in 1917. Yes. Fatima, that's exactly right. Gold star. Fatima. Now, she appeared to 3 shepherd children. One was named Lucia, and she was 10 years old. How many of you are 10 years old today, this day? How many of you are 10? Well, Lucia was your age when she saw the Blessed Mother. She also appeared to 2 of her younger cousins, Francisco and Jacinta. Francisco was 9 years old. How many of you are 9 years old? All right. And Jacinta was only 7 years old. How many of you are 7 years old? Yeah. Now imagine, those of you who are 7, 9, and 10, imagine seeing the Blessed Mother, Mary appearing to you. And she stood atop an oak tree and said these words to these 3 children, and says them to us as well. So listen very carefully. She said, "Are you willing to offer yourself to God and and bear all sufferings he wills to send you as an act of reparation for the sins by which he is offended, and of supplication for the conversion of sinners. And the 3 children responded, "Yes, we are willing." And then she said, and she had the rosary in her hand, she said, "Pray the rosary every day in order to obtain peace for the world." And so, boys and girls, my question to you today, my question which Mary asked those 3 shepherd children, 10, 9, and 7 years old. First, are you willing to offer yourself to God? Are you willing to bear all the sufferings he will send you as an act of reparation by which he is offended, by all the sins, and of supplication for the conversion of sinners? And boys and girls, remember he asked this of very young children. She said, pray the rosary every day. Are you willing to pray the rosary every day? Yes. If the 3 shepherd children can do it, so can you, and so can I. And I promise you that I will pray the rosary every day. And I ask that you promise to Our Lady in your own heart today that you will take up her rosary, praying it every day, dedicating yourself to God and to her Immaculate Heart, praying for sinners and for the conversion of the world. She finished speaking with the 3 shepherd children, saying these words, "To whoever embraces this devotion, I promise salvation. These souls shall be dear to God as flowers placed by me to adorn his throne." So now, boys and girls, we will place flowers before Mary's feet to represent each and every one of us. And we ask that she will take us to the throne of God.